Now, I think a lot of people in the general internet environment have seen some Invicta watches that are very gaudy, very tacky, very ugly, and they've judged the entire brand off of those pieces, the few watches they've seen. Or they've gone to some forums, they heard that it's very in vogue to hate on Invicta, and they don't really know what they're talking about, and they just, you know, spew Invicta hate. A lot of that going on the internet, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. But most of those people really don't know what the hell they're talking about. They really don't. Because they haven't gone through the product line as I have. I've spent hours researching Invicta, going through their watches, and yeah, there's some ugly watches there. Like tacky watches. I hate them. The watches I would never wear. But if you keep digging, keep looking, especially as I have over a period of years, you're going to see some real jewels emerge from a very quality, high-value watch company. That's right, Invicta. They're coming out with watches like this. Welcome to my Grand Diver watch review. A winning watch by Invicta. Highly, highly recommended. On par with a lot of the other automatic watches I've reviewed to date, especially the divers. And that is saying a lot. Dude, seriously, because here's one right here. This is a deep blue Master 1000 Gen 1. Epic watch. Just love this watch. It's so awesome. I've said so many great things about the watch. And here we have a watch. I wouldn't say quite up to the deep blue quality, because now deep blue has sapphire crystals, ceramic bezels. You're not going to find that level in a Grand Diver, at least the variations I'm showing you here. But, and this is important, the pricing on these is very aggressive. Okay, of course you can't go by its tag. Where did that one tag go? They'll show like $1,000 price tag. It's something insane. That's around here somewhere. But a lot of watch companies do that just for cachet. They're just trying to impress you that it's an expensive piece when it really isn't. But if you score this for like around 100 to 150, you're getting a very solid dive watch, a very solid value, says me. Says me. Now, I'm not really a watch reviewer, so I can basically say whatever I want. I'm an outsider to the industry, and I love it. I just do these hit and run WRVs, say what I say, and I don't really give a crap about what the internet thinks or what forums think. I don't. I'm just trying to impart truth to the internet with all my reviews, whether it's a WRV, KRV, GRV, whatever gear item I'm reviewing. I take care of my donors. And my general TMP audience too. They know they can trust me. I'm not on the take from Invicta. They didn't give me any watches. I don't get money from them. These are either bought or loaned to me from individuals. All the Invicta pieces you're seeing me review currently. And I have like 5 different Invictas I'm trying to get through. Here we go with the Grand Diver. Great value. Buy with confidence. I'll just say that right off the bat. One thing I love about the Grand Diver, at least in the variations I'm showing you, are, I should say, is its appearance. It's just a good-looking diver-esque watch. Now, is this a true dive watch? Well, it's 200 meter, water resistance. I would say, yes, it is. It is. I mean, it's a decent all-around dive watch. It's as good as some of the other pieces I've reviewed. Lacking maybe a sapphire crystal. Again, this is a mineral crystal here. Lacking a ceramic bezel. So it doesn't have all the high-end features, but for the price point, you're getting a solid, no kidding, go under the water dive watch. And if I get a chance, I'll dive these and put the footage in. If you don't see the footage, I didn't get a chance before I posted a review, which, by the way, is time critical. All these watches are time critical because they're selling down so quickly. These variations will be gone very shortly, and it's very frustrating as I go along here. On we go with the details of this watch. Let's start out with a bezel. It's kind of scalloped around the circumference on the Grand Diver. I would call it medium traction, not outstanding traction, like we would see in maybe the deep blue. That's better traction here. Go watch my Sea Hunter review. You'll see the best bezel I've ever seen in my life. It's also in the Invicta product lineup. But it's more of a lower profile timing bezel, 120 click, very precise, moderate amount of backlash. I'll give it 3 out of 5 in preciseness. The sound is like a 5 out of 5. Listen. Is a bezel that important in a dive watch? Yes, absolutely it's important, because a lot of dive watch enthusiasts will judge a watch by the bezel. How it sounds, how it feels, how it looks, its traction. That's just how they are. That's just how they are. So yeah, it's super important. Onto the face. This is a beautiful orange variation. This is 3048 variation of the Invicta Grand Diver. In this variation, let me say this very quickly. The Invicta lineup will use terms like Grand Diver, Pro Diver very liberally, and it's a very different watch. So you may, if you go to the internet and just type in Invicta Grand Diver, you may have something come up that doesn't look like this at all. This is this variation, so I don't really know how to hone in on this variation other than give you the model numbers. This is 3048. Notice, by the way, it does not have any chapter ring in it. Outstanding! Just like Deep Blue. Look, so you have vertical walls in the case, maximizing effective case space. That is the area the hands actually have to move around in. Really good effective case space in this. Love it. The hands are decent. So they're kind of arrow hands. And in every variation I'm going to show you, they're very legible. So we have white outlined in black in this 3048. Orange Grand Diver. Really cool orange, by the way. It's kind of a yellowish orange. Same color as my Hayabusa, by the way. That is exactly the same color. So excellent. We have three-dimensional loomed markers here. And I'll show you the loom as we go along here. I would classify it as good to excellent. Maybe not on the level of Super Luminova. You'll have one loom pip in the bezel here. All the markers will be loomed. The seconds hand has a little loom pip on it. We have shiny metal surrounding those markers, but I can forgive it because they did not put shiny metal around the hands. And like I said, most of the variations do not need a hands modification to make them super legible, although I did molest one I'm going to show you. And I would classify that hands mod job very difficult, incidentally. Yes, let's look at the complications. I love the blackened Invicta logo in this variation. So cool. It looks very Breitling-esque, doesn't it? This whole watch right here kind of reminds me of a Breitling. Very excellent. Grand Diver. Then we have the Deep Sea Diver logo right here. Sorry for the reflections. Look at this. Also repeated here in the links of the bracelet. So nice themology going on in the Grand Diver. And I will give kudos to Invicta because they're a company that knows how to theme and stick to a theme in their watches. They do a better job than anybody I've seen to date other than Aviate. Aviate is just like them. They're so outstanding in how they do it. They'll pick a theme, stick to it, remind the owner of the theme over and over again. Excellent. Excellent. Seconds hand has a unique hollow wing on the end, the Invicta symbol. Look at that. How cool that is. Notice it doesn't say Swiss made here because it's rocking a Japanese NH35A movement, which is fantastic, by the way. So as you saw, it hacks, hand winds, screw-in crown, very shallow crown protectors here, and we have engraving on the side of the case, which incidentally measures at 47 millimeters across, 17 in thickness, 55 lug to lug. Well done, Invicta. I will say gold star on that sizing. This is a perfectly, for me, sized dive watch. Very versatile, wears under the cuff quite easily, and quite different than the Sea Hunter. Go watch that review, it's super fun. I love how they engraved the side of it too. And I learned that with, where did it go? This one right here. So this is a military field watch, and I've had this for years and years in the project. It's long discontinued. Model number 0764 NHM. So I learned that they did that with this case. I was like, that's kind of cool. I really like that. And here we see it again. So be proud of your heritage. I don't like sterile watches. I don't. Grand Diver on the side, excellent. And then we have that Deep Sea Diver in the crown, I believe. I think that's what that is. Dude with a mask at least. And then the back, it's an exhibition case back, not a sapphire crystal. I think this is just a mineral crystal in the back. Oh, and I misspoke, dude. I thought this is 200 meter. This is 300, dude. My apologies. I thought this was 200. It's 300. So is it a dive watch? Hell to the yeah, it is. Totally is. Look at the exhibition case back. NH35 right there. I love it when they do that. And then you have, once again, the Deep Sea Diver logo there, reminding you you have an awesome high-value dive watch. And it says Professional Invicta Grand Diver on the back. I love that. Screw and case back. Having taken some Invictas apart, including a Grand Diver, this one right here that I'll show you in detail, easy to take apart. Super easy to take apart, easy to put together. Hard to do the hands mod on, though, like I'm saying. We have here in this variation, solid link stainless steel bracelet. No collar, so they have directional arrows of how to take the push pins out. Having sized some of these, pretty easy to do. It's a simple process, super simple. And then we have a 4-position micro adjustment on the fold over. Single clasp milled stainless steel Invicta Grand Diver, at least this variation. Branded clasp right there. We have polished and satin surfaces here on this. Again, solid link stainless steel bracelet. That still has a protective cover on it. Haven't worn this one yet. There we go, so much better. Okay, so that's the orange version. That is 3048, very handsome. Have the A10 taking a nosedive there, standard. Here comes my hands modded one. This is a beautiful sunburst blue Invicta Grand Diver 21865 NHM. So I hands modded this one, dudes. This is the one I took apart, right set up, there we go. And we have the Loomed Markers once again, and there was just something on this. This is my watch right here. So there was just something on the hands in this variation that I wasn't super in love with. I think it did have shiny metal, and I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm just gonna match perfectly, by the way, the loom, the green loom color on there. Yeah, I did lose the actual loom of the hands, but I don't care. It just looks so cool now. Notice, by the way, the magnified date window on that NH35A movement. Very legible. Very rare we see that in any watch I review. And notice in this variation of the Grand Diver, we have a completely different bezel treatment. Here we have really positive knurling on the bezel. And this is not silk screen, but it's printed on. This is not a ceramic bezel. So if that's not good to you, you know, maybe go somewhere else. And then we have a different bezel numeric system on this one too. Hour tracking bezel. Notice in this variation, we have the Invicta logo in bright, and there's a good look at that sunburst blue Invicta Grand Diver. Really a beautiful version. I painted that seconds hand orange. Why did I say it was difficult to hands mod? Because the hands are very tight in these Grand Divers, and so when I put it back together, I was having some clearance issues. I had to take it all apart again and get it just so. That's why. That's why. As far as being an automatic movement, that wasn't the issue. It was just hands clearances are tight. Here comes another variation, Invicta Grand Diver. Now, this one, I took off the solid link stainless steel bracelet and I put on a 22mm, very classy, riveted Flieger stitched with heavy cotton watch strap, and man, does it set it off. 22mm lugs again. All of the ones I've seen do come with stainless steel bracelets. I haven't seen any with NATOs or silicone, at least with these types of faces. Here we go. On my wrist, this is how it looks. White-faced Invicta Grand Diver. Oh my goodness, that looks awesome. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So this is white dial Invicta Grand Diver, so it has orange hands, orange markings, model number 10640. Some of these may be gone. I just don't know. By the time I post a video, they could be gone, and you may have to go on a hunt to find them. Again, if you get it for $100, you are doing really good. If you get it for under $100, you're doing insanely good. For a Seiko NH35 movement, dude, it's a no-brainer. And look at how the whole personality of the watch changes when we put a Flieger strap on it. Man, that looks great. Let me take this off so you can see what it looks like. With that white face and the orange markings, holy crap, that looks awesome. Really cool. I just have a thing for straps. I've told you guys this. I put a strap on there and I'm like, yep, that's it. This is the first one I tried out of the collection. I keep a bunch of straps on hand exactly for this. That I want to show the personality of a watch by doing a strap change, either in a review or just in my personal daily wear. And dude, this is freaking perfect. Waterproof? No. Who cares? I still have the timing bezel function right here. It's awesome. So are they recommended? Absolutely. I love the Grand Diver. Very few things I don't like about it. At this price point, I don't need sapphire. I don't need a ceramic bezel. I'm getting the Seiko movement for a $100 watch or less. Holy crap, that is a deal. Dig into my playlist and you'll find some other value watches that may be even less, like the Casio MDV 106. This is a blue variation, NHM. Very excellent, going up against the Grand Diver. And this is a value watch. It's quartz, though. This is not an automatic watch. This is. I prefer autos. I do, especially in a dive watch. Nothing fancy. Thank you.